Welcome everybody, welcome to the Freedom Programme. I'm Rachel Smith, the Business Grower, and congratulations for actually turning up here and putting your hand up to wanting to know more about business success and creating that freedom to actually enjoy that success as well. This has been such an important kind of experience for me, and it's an absolutely essential thing for you to understand in your business as well. As always, with anything that I create and share, is I want this to be as interactive as possible. So even if you're listening back to the recording, you can still engage with me with regard to this and your experience about this as well. So let me just share the ways that you can do that. So for everybody who's live, both on Live Your Abundant Life and over on the live Zoom, is that you can use the chat box to come and speak to me and engage with the content. Now, this is called a program because it's not just today's training that I'm actually sharing. So you've got a workbook, and throughout the next 2 hours, you will be actually working on your business. So that's exciting, isn't it? And then for the next kind of 2 weeks, whilst you've got access to this content, you're going to have the ability to come into my Facebook group, Live Your Abundant Life, and actually be supported by myself to work on your business, work on the things that came up for you, and to actually start to make some progress. So it is 2 hours. It is going to go really quickly. I have created my notes for this, and I was really quite excited about realizing what an important message this is for us as female entrepreneurs to hear it, to act on it, and to actually implement it in all of our own businesses. I'm going to do a break about halfway through for doing like a Q&A session. And if anybody needs like a comfort break or anything at that moment in time, or just the ability to get up and just have a little wander around, but that's definitely the time to do it. And I'll also be sharing with you details of one of the most powerful ways that you can actually generate epic results in your business as well. So let's get into this content. Can't wait to share it with you. So I'm, as I said, Rachel Smith. I'm the founder of The Business Grower, and I am absolutely passionate about supporting female business owners to grow epic businesses and to live awesome lives. And one of my key kind of missions with The Business Grower is to support women for them to have like graceful success, and for you not to experience the highs and the lows that I experienced. I want you to only experience many, many highs. And I understand what it really takes to generate success in your business. And that's from, sort out that audio situation. And I understand what it truly takes to grow a successful business from my own experience of running a couple of successful businesses, but also from helping and supporting hundreds of women over the last couple of years since I've set up as the Business Grower. And I'm really, really excited to share this content with you as well. So I really wanted to kind of kick off by having a look at, some of the really big challenges that we face as female entrepreneurs. And this isn't from a point of judgment by any stretch of the imagination. Whenever I'm sharing anything like this, you can pretty much guarantee that I have experienced this as well. So, the challenges that I've definitely experienced in the past, and women like yourself have experienced, may currently be experiencing, as female entrepreneurs, we kind of think that we have to do it on our own, that we have to grow our businesses on our own, and that actually our existing business isn't worth investing in. And this is really coming from a point of disbelief that you are good enough already at this moment in time to invest in your business and to be supported to actually move your business forward. And we end up trying to be an expert on absolutely everything: social media, messaging, visibility, confidence. We try to do everything in our businesses, and it's absolutely exhausting because as women, we often have lots of other roles outside of our business as well. We also struggle with imposter syndrome, and I've definitely experienced this, and I know many women who have and do worry about not being good enough, always waiting for a time when they are a better expert or have more experience. And this affects things like your visibility, your confidence, your ability to put your prices up and actually be paid for what you're worth. And you can often end up putting other people on pedestals and believing that you will never be as good as them. Other challenges is that there's very little strategy in your business. So it may be that you rock up to your desk, you're very excited about what's going on in your business, you dive in, and there's no real clarity of the direction in which you're trying to go. You're trying a bit of this, a bit of that. You've invested in maybe some training over here, so you're trying that. And it's starting to look as though you're doing many things spread out, and you won't really understand what's working well in your business. And, like when we talk about strategy, it sounds really boring, doesn't it? Let's have a business strategy. It doesn't sound like the exciting thing that you've actually come to do in your business. And it may give you kind of throwbacks to your own like past corporate role, if that's what you had, where strategy was one of these really boring situations where you sat down in a room full of other people and thrashed out a strategy that actually, did or didn't work. So we often resist strategy in our business. We just want to do it. We just want to generate success. We just want to work with our clients. We just want to help people. So another challenge that many, many women really struggle with is the belief that success comes from hard work, that you've got to be working hard in your business every day, on an evening, on a weekend, for true success to come through. And that might come from your own belief in you running a business, being successful. That's a great time to receive a phone call, isn't it? It might also be from your kind of past paid employment experience, where there's that kind of real belief that you had to work hard and maybe work 7 till 6 at night and not take your lunch break, and it was all about working really hard. And that's exhausting. We'll be talking a little bit about that. Some of the other issues and challenges that women face is playing by other people's rules. I certainly remember in my early days, I kept looking for people's kind of permission to be and do certain things in my business. It took me a little while to realise that actually the only person that there is setting any rules was myself. And, there's a danger in having rules in your business. If they're not rules that are helping you, and if there's somebody else's rules, they'll actually kind of squash your ability to call in success. And the biggest one that I see women experience all the time is playing it small. So this is comes from a lack of belief, a lack of confidence in themselves, a lack of being consistent. So we live in a world where we are used to buying an item on Amazon and having it delivered the very next day. My kids, if we've chosen something together, they know it's coming. They ask me for the next 12 hours, when is it arriving? And it's kind of like how we are in our businesses, isn't it? Is that we find something, we try it, we don't get the results that we want, so we go off and try something else. And once again, you haven't really put in the time and the effort to figure out what is working well for you and for your audience. So this is about you really building up the understanding that consistency is key here. And when we crack these things, when we actually crack these key challenges, that's when everything changes as well. So you may have experienced some of these challenges already, you may be currently experiencing them, but what I can definitely share with you is that when you overcome these challenges, everything in your business and therefore your life changes. And what happens when you overcome those challenges is that you suddenly have like this clarity of like who you are in business and how you want to show up and what your message is, who you want to work with and how you want to work with them as well. and you stay on your own path. You know, we can all get distracted with shiny objects and thinking that this is kind of the way forward. We can all get distracted with shiny objects, but what happens when you've overcome those challenges and problems that I've just outlined is that actually you start to build up your own confidence that you're on the right path for you. And you start to build up your belief as well. And you find your true voice. And this is so important. I mean, you know, there's a lot of vanilla out there, isn't there? A lot of people say the same things. And sometimes we can condition ourselves to believe they're the things that we should be saying as well. And all that happens when that occurs is that you start to merge into the background with everybody else. And, you know, in terms of being successful, in terms of generating true freedom in your business, it's all about ensuring that you have your own voice. I knew I needed to put some batteries in my mouth. I've completely failed to do that, so we might get some slowness. So this is about you having the confidence and the belief in who you are, what you're here to do, and how you're showing up in the world. This is about you creating content that absolutely hits your soulmate clients in their soul, so they can feel you, they can hear you, and they can see you. And this is the thing that kind of starts to accelerate your results, is that when your clients can truly see and feel you as you are yourself, when you've kind of thrown off any kind of cloak of, you know, this is who I have to pretend to be in order to be successful. And you get to really stir the particles when you are being in true alignment to who you are and who you're here to serve. You get to look into the very souls of your soulmate client and really start to speak to their soul and stir their particles, so people start to react to you. And, you know, you'll start to get people kind of saying, gosh, you know, what you wrote there, it felt like you'd lifted the top of my head off and actually looked deep inside me, and you completely knew what I was experiencing. And that when that happens, that is like the total magic, because then people start to reach out to you. So rather than having this belief that it's got to be about hustle and it's about hard selling, it's like people start to seek you out because they know that you are for them as well. And when when you're in this place, of being who you truly are in business, is that you will start to create some really awesome products as well. And when you create like these awesome products, you get the ability to just sell them so gracefully and so easily. And like, if somebody had said that to me 2 years ago, I would have laughed in their face. But this is completely true. And money starts to flow into you, and you start to say yes to all sorts of opportunities and amazing things. So what I'd love to know, and as I said, this is a very interactive session, so what I'd love to know is, for the people who are here live, and obviously anybody who listens back to this recording can respond to this as well, but who has experienced feast and famine in their business? And just to clarify what feast and famine is that it's that time when the feast is, when you secure a client, woohoo, brilliant, we're excited. And the famine is the time when you have no more new prospects coming on board. You don't know where your next paying clients are coming from. So if you're on the live stream, please put in the comments box, and anybody here on Zoom with the chat is just, if you can comment in the chat box about whether you have experienced feast or famine in your business. And if you're clear about what that is. I have definitely experienced feast and famine. We'll be talking about that in a little while. And just whilst you're thinking about that, yeah, Amy says, yeah, she has as well. Yeah, it's hard work, isn't it? Oh, I'm just going to check something. Let's just have a little look. I'm just going to pause that for now. Just bear with me 2 minutes. Oh, I've done it again. Kelly, thank you very much. Kelly has just told me that I have put the wrong link in Zoom. I did that previously, didn't I? Right. Um, 2 ticks. Let me just sort this out. Oh, I'm just going to pause the recording. Oh. Okay, so we were talking about feast and famine. Well, we were talking about what does that actually, who's actually experienced feast and famine, and we've all experienced that most definitely. So my next question for you is this: what would your business look and feel like when you are consistently attracting new clients to you? What will your business look and feel like when you are consistently attracting new clients to you? And if you're currently attracting new clients to you, the kind of additional question would be, what would it be like if you were attracting clients of a, fresh caliber? So perhaps they're your kind of one-to-one clients, or perhaps you have a desire to actually create something really different and really juicy. So what would your business look and feel like at that point? So if you want to share that, that's amazing. Because I really want to get you to step into starting to think about shifting gear in your business. Because sometimes when we've been working really hard in our business and perhaps things haven't worked out, or everything has been kind of hard work to get to the point where you're at now, it's really hard to think of like exciting and juicy potential. And I really want to kind of start to free you up to think about this a little bit more. And as I said, I've definitely experienced many lows in my business. I've shared this a lot with Kelly previously. But the kind of significant point was kind of back in 2015 when I'd really committed to launching and having this uber successful business coaching business through the Business Grower. And I was like, I'd been following somebody like stalker style for ages, and I was like, right, this is exactly how I want my business to look. And I decided to invest a lot of money with this person, and I was like, right, I want to be that person with that business. And I worked really hard all the way through 2015. I spent all day working really hard. I spent the nights working really hard too. And my coach, to give her the credit that she's due, she has a uber successful business. But she was teaching me exactly how to be in my business. She was teaching me how to recreate her business in my business. And I got results, but it felt like hard work. And it felt awkward and it felt difficult. And there was a lot of feast and famine in that as well. And it was only really in the beginning, and I got results, in all fairness, I got results, but it was like some highs and lows and ups and downs. And it was like, oh my God, I can't take this anymore. I had so many like dark moments where I was like, it's got to be easier just to go work for somebody else. But I kind of hung on to, my vision and my belief that I could do this. And it was kind of back in early 2016, I'd really committed to the belief that you had to have this big launch for your signature program. And I committed kind of 3 weeks of my life and my family's life, to be fair, into launching this big, successful signature program. And from all of that hard work, or from all of that investment, I actually secured one client. And it's like, it's like one client. Here I am telling you that not so long ago, I committed my entire life for 3 weeks and I secured one client. But at that point, I was like face down in the dirt, as Brené Brown likes to call it, feeling completely vulnerable, feeling like complete failure. And I just knew that everything had to change, that everything I'd invested in, all of the rules, all of the business templates, all of the believing I had to be everywhere on social media, running a business and creating a business that actually wasn't anything to do with my personality or how I like to work with people. I just knew that I had to throw those rules out. And at that point, that's when everything changed. And as a coach and a qualified NLP practitioner, I knew this is what I was teaching my own clients, that the way to be in true desire and to be truly happy was only to ever take aligned action. And we all know what unaligned action is, isn't it? It's when we think we have to do something and we go and do it and it feels pretty dreadful. Believe it or not, apart from the faux pas of the beginning part of this training, I absolutely love delivering training. I love talking to my clients. But, it's kind of, I choose to do this rather than some of the other things I'd been doing in the past. So in 2016, I made that decision that everything had to change and that I was only going to take aligned action from that point on, and everything absolutely changed as well. And I threw out all of the formulas, all of the methods and matrices of like how to be everywhere in social media. It felt really liberating, but it equally felt really, really scary as well. But it started my true journey of understanding how to grow and run and flourish in a truly successful business, and one that I loved as well, and one where I was getting to work with people who I absolutely loved as well. And oh my gosh, who here feels like they have to be like the good girl in life and in business? And I think this definitely comes from a pressure of society. It's like, I'm a parent, so I really try to be a good parent. Whatever does that mean? People have different definitions of good parenting, but certainly in business, I try to be a good girl in business as well. I try to be like everybody else and be like all the kind of really successful business coaches, and it just didn't light me up. So I just decided that I wouldn't be the good girl anymore and I would just be me. So I started to work with only clients that I loved, and I started to create lots of really brilliant content. I created content all the time. So I'd be writing blog posts or doing lives, and I was just doing the things that really lit me up and that felt really easy. And my coach is a little bit of a party girl, and don't get me wrong, I love going out and having a blast with my girlfriends. But she said to me once in a group call, she said, I can tell from you, Rachel, that actually, you'd rather, if you had like a burning like blog post, you'd rather sit in your hotel room and write your blog post and then go out than actually just think, I'll do that blog post tomorrow. And that's what it's like when you're really turned on to your business and you're really in alignment with who you are and what you are and who you are to serve. And you're like, yes, this is exactly the message, and it's in you, and you can't actually wait for it to pour out of you. And that's what we're talking about when it's in alignment. So 2016 became like my playground. I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to like create whatever content I want, whatever products and services feels like my audience wants to receive. And I'm just going to have a ton of fun being me in business. And I really kind of had to rediscover who I was as well by, kind of throwing out the good girl kind of basis. And in 2016, I decided, just because I thought it would be amazing, to run my first mastermind. And I hadn't actually been in a mastermind myself, but I understood the power of a mastermind, and it really totally sang to me. So I had made this decision late in May 2016, and I came back off holiday, launched it in June, and ran my first mastermind last summer, and it was awesome. And it was like the collective power of women being together and all being on the same page and understanding what it truly feels like to run your own business. And what I love about masterminds is that it is this kind of sacred space where people can come in and just be who they truly are. And they can talk about their challenges and the worries and the problems, but they can also come in and completely celebrate and brag about the things that are going really well as well. And it also gave me a really fabulous ability to work with those clients who perhaps weren't ready to invest with me at a VIP level, but they knew that they wanted a lot of support to actually, be accountable and get on and do these things. So I discovered in 2016 not only the power of a mastermind, but also what it felt like to run a mastermind. And I absolutely fell in love with running a mastermind and being a host for a mastermind and actually working with my clients in that way. And very shortly after I started to run my own mastermind is I joined a mastermind that I'm still part of today. And it's the most amazing space for everybody to come into. And what I love is, you know, when you like sign up to a program or a boot camp and they're like 6 weeks or 8 weeks, and it's like, what happens after that time? We all still need to be held into that container. And that's what a mastermind for me is. It's about not like an 8-week blast of something. This is about getting you like consistently brilliant results. And that's exactly what my clients experience as well. So I want to kind of turn this session over to you now. So hopefully you have got your workbooks. And if you haven't, I've opened a copy here. And this is like your time now to be really creative, for you to give yourself permission to throw out, you know, whatever you need to in order for you to feel who you truly are in business, and to give yourself permission to show up as who you truly are as well. So, you know, if you need to throw out some rules that perhaps you've been living by, or some belief that you're not good enough, or you've been playing it too small, I want you to kind of throw all of those things out for this exercise. And, you know, I'd like you to start to think about, what does success look like for you? And this is like personal. This is different for every single person. So this is about you playing it as big as you dare. And this is about you really allowing yourself to dream big. And you've got to remember that I'm talking to you from a point of, you know, just over 12 months ago, I was like face down in the dirt, beating my frustrated fists about why things weren't working when I was doing everything I was being told to do. So this is coming from a point of like, what are your deepest desires, without any worry, without any concerns? And you've got space in your workbook to actually write this out. And if you need to continue, because sometimes I get really carried away with this exercise and it goes on for pages, and if you haven't got your workbook, you can still do this exercise. Just grab a piece of paper and actually write out, you know, what does success look like for you, for me? Success for me looks like, and you can just write this out. So let me give you some examples. I was doing this over in Kelly's group yesterday, but it's kind of like, you know, maybe you totally dream of having this life where you have this awesome business, it's generating you a shed load of money, it's something that completely lights you up, it's really exciting, you're getting to work with your soulmate clients who you absolutely adore, you're getting a consistent flow of money coming into your business. So you can talk about that, you can talk about what those clients like, how much money you're earning, what you're selling, what you're doing, how you're showing up. But also, you know, what are the implications on the rest of your life? Because I don't think you can separate out life and business. So really thinking about, you know, what does success look like for you? And it's starting to think about, you know, perhaps it's about where you wake up on a morning. Perhaps you totally change what that looks like or feels like for you. So perhaps you're somewhere else, perhaps you're on holiday in a really beautiful place that you currently don't feel that you could get to. You know, where is it that you are when you kind of spend your time? And it could be that you're at home and perhaps you've got a housekeeper that comes in and actually looks after you. Or you've got somebody who just takes your laundry away and sorts it out. Or somebody comes in and sorts your beds out, or leaves you like your food for the day. So you can think dream as big as you want. You might have desire to have like a personal trainer that comes around and kicks your ass and gets you into shape. Or perhaps it's about you bringing in some support in your business. So maybe you've got like an awesome support team. What does that look like for you? And it could also be about, you know, success for me looks like the decisions you get to make about who you are, what you do, what you spend your time doing, how you spend your time, and also how you make decisions about where you live, what you drive, where you go on holiday, what you eat. So start to, sketch this out, grab some bullet points, and you can start to think about, one of the key elements for me when I actually decided to throw out the rules was to actually understand that working 5-6 days a week tied to my desk wasn't going to work for me forever. I'm not a spring chicken, and I didn't really swap one corporate lifestyle to come and duplicate that over here in my business. So, it's really thinking about how many hours do you actually want to work in the week. So start to jot this down. It's really important that we start to imprint this onto our minds. And you might be thinking, I don't know, they're too big questions. And I would say, this is an invitation for you to let go of any worries or doubts about this. I'm not going to hold you accountable at the end of this to make this happen in a week, am I? But this is kind of setting the foundations of your future business. And perhaps you're thinking, well, actually, I've already got my dream business and my dream life. But again, if that's the case, come and share that with us. So but the people who are here live, what's coming up for you whilst you think about what success looks like for you? And, something that lots of women fail to do is their income goal. How are you ever going to know if you have reached the point of success if you're not sure what your income goal is? So your income goal is really, really important. And I'm going to show you in a little while about how you can get to your income goal as well. That's kind of the next bit. So anything that you want to come and share with us, please do. So this is what freedom looks like for me. Now, I work kind of Monday to Thursday, school hours. That's not very long, is it? So it's kind of like from kind of 9:15 through to like 3 o'clock. But I generally finish before then. Oh, so lovely Victoria is online. She says, success looks like regular money in the bank and able to pay my bills, plus able to get a house cleaner and a bigger home as well. Love it. And it's like we need to know what the fire is, don't we? We need to know why we're getting out of bed in the morning. We need to know why we're up-leveling our thinking, our actions, and because we need to know what we're working towards. If we don't know these things, everything's going to be a bit lackluster, isn't it? It's going to be a bit like bleh. And it's like, come on, let's put the fire in your belly and let's really help you to generate the lifestyle that you're allowed to have. I think it's a big challenge for women to accept that they can have an amazing life. It's almost like you've got to give yourself permission to do it, and you can. So, I've always had probably because of my NLP training, but I've always been really great at visualizing things that I didn't have, things that I wanted to call in. And now, if I look back to where I started and where I was at various different stages, where I am now feels really, really different and almost like this was the impossible dream. But, obviously now I've got other things that I'm aiming towards. So now I work like Monday to Thursday school hours. In that, so not very long is it, but in that I still take time out to exercise, because trying to get me out of the house on an evening after working and being a mummy is just not going to happen at all. So I work from home, work here in my beautiful room, and I take the majority of the summer holidays off travelling with the children. I take a lot of the school holidays off. Actually, I have no childcare. My children completely refuse, their little loves, to go into childcare, so it's over to me. But they are getting to an age now where I can manage that a little bit better. We travel all summer long because that's what we love to do. We have the most amazing adventures. It's so cool. And then this year we actually brought our dream second home, which my husband and I have been talking about for a long time. And an opportunity kind of landed on our laps last year. And it was a yes. And it was so liberating to be able to say yes to that. And we're just at the point where we're just finishing off that renovation right now. And in business, I have this gorgeous flow of amazing clients who I absolutely adore and love. And they're getting fabulous results right now. I have absolutely no problem with showing up and being visible and sharing my message. I very rarely compare myself to other people. Obviously, I'm not perfect. I still have moments where I go, oh my God, look how amazing they are. But, you know, I very much keep on my track. I love my business, and I think that's really, really important. I believe in myself. I truly believe in myself. So even though we had that moment where, once again, I totally messed up on sending the link out, and we had that pause at the beginning of this training, you know, yeah, it's not perfect, but I'm not perfect. And, you know, that doesn't disprove my ability to be an awesome business coach at all. So I do have belief in myself. So that's what freedom and success means to me. It, as I shared at the beginning, it hasn't always been that way. It has been a journey. And that's why my mission as a business grower is to alleviate a lot of the kind of downtimes and to accelerate your up times as well. So let me know if you've got any questions, because we're, you know, kind of 45 minutes into the content, and there's a lot here, isn't there? A lot of new things for you to think about, and, you know, lots of exciting things for you to start to bring into your life as well. So any questions for you guys in the live streams as well? So we are now going to move on to the second part of the workbook, and I'll describe it very well to anybody who's on the live stream who's thinking, I haven't got a workbook, but I will describe it as well. So in terms of feast and famine, this is, you know, this was kind of a key discussion point, wasn't it, during the first half of this training. Feast and famine is a real experience for many of us in business, where we get that one client, and we get that two or three clients, and we're like, yes, we've got money coming in, and then it's like nothing. So you get this famine thing, and there are some really lovely things that you can do to actually stop that from occurring. And I'm so glad that Kelly's here, because she's a perfect example of that. So what we've got on the kind of second element of the workbook is my income calculator. So I asked you to define, in like your perfect day and your perfect business, what your income goal is. So you've got that top of mind. And you might be thinking, oh, that's really nice. You know, I want 100,000 in a year. Lovely, great. I'll just journal about that, and it's going to magically land in my lap. Well, it won't. It will help, but it won't. But what my income calculator does is it's putting your income goal right at the top so that you can see it. And this is something that's got to mean something to you. There's no point in saying, oh, Rachel said it's 100K, so I'm going to put that down. It's like, what is that amount for you? It could be 10K, it could be 50K, it could be 60K, it could be $1 million. It's whatever is important for you. So there we go, we've got your income goal. Ooh, hopefully your income goal scares you a little bit, but in a good way, in an exciting way. And what we've got here is that the under the income goal, there's kind of 3 levels. The bottom level being level 1 income product, level 2, and level 3. So for me, level 3 are all of your VIP, your top end, kind of high investment products, where a proportion of your audience is going to want to buy from you. These are the people who don't want to wait for the content, who don't want to wait for the results. They want all of you right now, and they want results really fast. So that is your level 3 income product. So for you, thinking about your business, thinking about a business you're building that you absolutely love, that's full of everything that's important for you. So what is that level 3 income for you product? Write that down. So you write it down, and you can think about this in terms of a month. You can write this down in terms of a year. It's entirely up to you. You'll want to do the calculation later to make sure it gets you to your income goal. So your level 3 income, so for me, that's my VIP working with me. That's where somebody works with me at VIP level and they get all of me whilst they're working. So they get any of my trainings, they get 24/7, well, within reason. But basically they can contact me at any point. We have our calls, we have our accountability. You know, it's fast, it's furious, it's fun, and it's really, really exciting. But, you know, my client is getting all of me. So they pay a higher price. And as I said, this is a proportion of your business. I mean, you can create a business where you purely look at high end. Of course you can. And if that's what you desire to do, that's what you put in. So that's your level 3 product. Your level 2 product is something that's kind of not VIP. You're still adding a ton of value. You're calling your clients in, and it's something that really excites you. So what is that for you? For me, that's my mastermind. So I have a current mastermind that doors are open fully on, well, the doors are open now, but we go fully on Monday. And we're running for the next 6 months, and it's absolutely cool. It's a really accessible income product as well. So it's really easy for me to sell because there's a ton of value in there. My guys totally know that they're supported, but it's very, very affordable as well. So it's not my VIP, but it is totally affordable. So for you in your business, what would that be? And if you want any ideas about what that could be, let me know, because I'm here to help and support you. And then your level 3, this is such an important level for you. So this is the level that's actually going to alleviate famine. Yay! It's one of the most important levels you could think of bringing into your business. So if you currently are experiencing feast and famine, and even if you're not experiencing that, but actually the thought of bringing in a consistent amount of income would give you like a breather, and it would give you some relief, and maybe it would give you the time and the energy to be playful in your business and for you to maybe try out different things, maybe at a level 2 or a level 3 level. So it's like, you know, for Kelly, that's her monthly club. Previously, for me, it's been a club. It's been monthly face-to-face events. And it's like once you get that income coming in, and you've got, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50, however many people you want, coming in and paying you an amount of money every month for the help and support that they're receiving, this is awesome. So for somebody like Amy, it could be that you have a line of your paper cut products that are at this level. And maybe they're part of a club where every month they receive a fresh one from you. And, you know, I don't know Amy's business, but that is, yeah. So she has a subscription box. So is that the model that you already have, Amy? And that's really cool. And you might be thinking, oh, well, so she does commissions as well. So you might be thinking, well, I don't have a business like you, Rachel, where you're online. You know, mine is a face-to-face. There is always something you can create for an audience that's either online or offline that can generate this for you. Yeah. So it's really, really cool. And so, you know, once again, this is like training, but I'm never going to be prescriptive and say, you have to bring this into you. It's about, you know, what do you feel pulled to deliver? So for Kelly, she totally felt pulled to creating her new club. And she did, and she's got the most awesome, amazing people in it. And it's like, do what you love, because if you're going to create something that you're drip feeding information and products into over a period of time, you know, you're going to have to love it. I ran my last club for 2 years and I absolutely loved it. And with this, I mean, obviously, you know, I've said this is my income calculator, but this is a business model. So, you know, when we're talking about strategy and we're saying, oh, no, we don't want to do strategy, it's boring. But this is a strategy, isn't it? This is about saying, look, I have this income goal. I'm like committed to making this happen. And I'm committed for this to be a very solid, amazing business, because I'm committed to pulling in all of those success points that I want to. I want to live this life, I've got that fire in my belly, and these are the ways that I'm going to do it. So this is actually your business model. So let me know how you've got on with that. And one of the things to consider with anything is your personality. So if you're an introvert, it's about honouring that introvert. One of the kind of lessons I learned from 2015 is that I'm an extrovert and I'm really comfortable with visibility. But the coach that I was working with and the model that we were trying to bring into my life was based on her personality, and she's an introvert. And of course it therefore didn't fit. So think about your personality. Whenever you're looking at bringing in any of your income products, just spend a moment and think, because sometimes we can see something somebody else has done and go, oh, I really want to do that. And we get really carried away with it. And sometimes it's a great idea and other times it's not so much. But really think about what it would take for you to show up and deliver that. And what would it feel like to have that and to commit to creating that as well. So we're just going to take a breather there. I'm really happy to take any questions that you have as well. Because this is, this is your time. I want to make it as worthwhile as possible. So I just wanted to talk about my brand new mastermind, which goes, it starts fully on Monday. And this is for women like you who are ready to really take their business and their lives to the next level, who are ready to grow an awesome business, taking aligned action and having fun with it, but being very graceful as well. And it's called the Fearless Female. Oh, thank you, Kelly. See, Kelly has been part of it for nearly 2 weeks and she's already loving it. It's called the Fearless Female Entrepreneurs Mastermind, which is a bit of a mouthful, but basically in my business now, I feel pretty fearless. There was a time when I probably spent most of the time being fearful, but I feel pretty fearless in business and in life. There's not much that would send me into a bit of a panic. And if that happened, I actually have some tools and some strategies to overcome that. So this is for you if you're done with worrying about where your next client's going to come from, whether you can or you cannot, or you should or you shouldn't actually do something in your business. If you're done with working really frigging hard and generating the same income and getting frustrated that income isn't actually increasing. And if you're absolutely fed up of being the only person in your business, because that can feel so lonely. As Kelly knows, 2 weeks in, she's got a safe place to come and be supported and to be heard as well. And that is one of the key elements of a mastermind, is that, yes, I'm there as a host, as a business coach, as somebody who's kind of walked the path already, and that can show you the way, the shortcuts and all the rest of it. But you are supported by everybody else in there. And one of the cool things here is that as a person, you start to find a new voice within you, because naturally you start to actually support the other people as well. And you begin to build that up kind of confidence and belief that you are good enough and that you have got something of value to add as well. And in this mastermind, you are fully supported to create consistent income. So all of this, you'll be supported to not only have the ideas, but actually take those ideas out to the world and create them, launch them and sell them. And you will be supported for 6 months, because sometimes we can go hard at something. Perhaps you've bought a product that's going to support you for 8 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it is, and be hard at it, committed, doing it, bringing it in, and then we get completely burnt out. So this is about really building in that muscle. Alison's not here, but one of my other mastermind clients, Alison, she says she loves it in her business because now from working with me, she understands what levers to pull to generate money. And she had her first 5K month recently, which is absolutely fabulous. So within this mastermind, you'll grow the confidence and the belief in yourself and your business. You'll become more visible. You'll only be doing the things that light you up. You'll be going out there creating, launching and selling, but not on your own. You will be supported by us. You'll be increasing and creating like an unstoppable mindset and belief in yourself. It is absolutely awesome. Everything within the mastermind is about support and supporting you where you are. It's not about giving you a load of new content that you've got to go through and learn and so on. So if you do need any training or support in a specific strategy or area in business, I will create bespoke training for you. So you don't have to trawl through a load of content to find a little bit that's relevant to you. It's all bespoke. But equally, if you need your sales page reviewing or your website reviewing or something else in your business, I will actually personally review that for you. We have weekly mastermind calls. So that gives you accountability. It gives you support, it gives you visibility, it gives you energy. You're going to go onto that call, you're going to hear Kelly going, oh, I'm smashing it with this launch. And even if you're like at the moment thinking you didn't have anything left in you to go out there, you'll just get that kind of like buzz of, yeah, I absolutely totally want to go out there and create that myself. So you get inspiration, you get motivation, and you get monthly Just Do It days. So you know all of those jobs that you keep putting off, I have plenty. All of those jobs that you keep putting off, we have these Just Do It days where we get together, you set your intention at the beginning of the day and then you're supported to get that out. So you might want to get a load of sales calls in that day and you might just want to be supported to get through those sales calls. And this is all about really generating you a ton of true success and true freedom as well. I nearly forgot to mention some of the bonuses. So 3 amazing bonuses when you come and join us before the end of next week. The first one is that you get access to 3 live events in York, and these are fabulous. This is how Kelly and I have worked together for a little while, but Kelly came to my event in July and September, and then she joined, and it's been the mastermind, and that's been amazing. So I'm running an event in York in November, January, and then there'll be a 3-day massive amazing 2-day event in March, and all of these events are just a bonus that you receive. And the cool thing about this is that you're taking time out to work on your business. You're coming into a room. How rare is that, where you actually come into a room of other like-minded people? You actually get to meet some amazing people, and Kelly actually has generated sales from meeting people from these events as well, and you can do that as well. And the second bonus is that you get a private strategy session with me, so we talk about all of this stuff. We talk about you, your business, we really kind of get it nailed down. And the third bonus is that that's amazing. So all of the mastermind girls are already members of Kelly's Club. Woohoo! And it's not because it's just because they met her and they trust her and they know that she's got something awesome. And the third kind of bonus is access to Welcome Week. So I know that if anybody puts their hands up to this mastermind, that they're all in to creating more success in the business, which is awesome. But I also understand that if you have had this kind of feast and famine experience in business, is that you're likely to be kind of shrouding yourself in a little bit of a protective layer. So the Welcome Week is a series of 4 masterclasses where this isn't going out to anybody else, this is just for you guys. And it's basically where I'll take you through a series of content that actually kind of open the doors fully on you, and where you will have the confidence and the skills to actually go out there to the world, be who you are, allow your audience to see and hear and feel you, and then actually also for you to be wide open to receiving the success you truly desire to have. So that is absolutely awesome. Now, this mastermind is probably worth several thousands of pounds, but remember, one of my key missions as a business grower is to make content and support affordable and accessible. So for 6 months, support on all of this that I've just outlined and probably a ton of other stuff that I haven't outlined, is that your investment is £1,800, which is broken into 6 monthly payments of £300. So the bare bones of it, you've got to think about, in terms of return on investment, is what do you need to create every month to actually get that investment back? And you will get that £1,800 investment back over the 6 months. This is a highly affordable way of being supported in your business right now. So the good news is I have an awesome group of amazing women who have already put their hands up, who were absolutely chomping at the bit to get started. So they're in there now already. So that's really fabulous. I love that. The door's going to stay open for a little while. You're very welcome to come and join us, but there's only a few places left. So if this is calling to you, I'm not going to do like a massive pitch here and get you like running down the road with your credit card. But what I want to kind of invite you to do is have a conversation with me, because I need to have a chat with you and to see if we're a good fit, and you need to do the same thing as well, because this is, this is 6 months. This is important stuff. So if you are interested, if you do want to see more details, you can have a look on my website, which is www.rachelsmithlifecoach.com. You can have a look at the details there, and just PM me on Facebook. That's the easiest thing to do, is just PM me and just tell me that you want to have a conversation about this. And, I'm not going to get you into some sort of like slimy sales call. This is just us having a chat and seeing if we are compatible and if this is the right resource for you. So we're going to talk about the final element to this. If anybody's got any questions about this, just let me know as well. So we're going to move on to the final element in your workbook, which is about you. So as I said, I felt like that I was having to be like the good girl in business, and I had to follow all the rules, and I was always looking for somebody else's permission that I was allowed to do something. And the thing that worked for me in 2016 and what still works for me today is about me being me and being able to show up as who I truly am every single day and taking aligned action from that point. So just kind of reverting back to this bit in the workbook where we were talking about what success looks like for you. So I want you to just take a few minutes in your own space where you are now and to think about this and to see yourself having this business and for you to kind of experience that dream day. So you have clarity about what it is. Turning into Theresa May, I'm going to have to ask for a lozenge in a minute. That might be the only time I make reference to politics ever on anything I'm doing. But I just want you to just step into the version of you having this life, having this business. I want you to step into that just for a minute. Do you think somebody's going to start bombing me as well? There's nobody in the house. There's only the dog that could do that. So I want you to just focus on you. This is a future version of you having this awesome business, living this awesome life. And this is like maybe you in 3 months' time or 6 months' time or 12 months' time, 2 years' time. It really doesn't matter. There's no right, there's no wrong. Just want you to step into that and really feel it. And feel what that feels like to know that you're generating this consistent flow from your business that you've created in your awesomeness, that you've got this business model in place, you know where your income's coming from, you know what levers to pull, the levers that you love to pull, and you can do that. So just thinking about who you are, truly who you are, what your desires are, I want you to think about from that point of that future version of yourself, how are you going to show up every day in your business? So what are your visibility, what's going to be your kind of visibility strategy? What feels right for you? And everybody's different, and that's great. That's exactly how it should be, isn't it? We should all be different, because if we're all following the same template, it's just like yada, 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 isn't it? Yawn, yawn, yawn. So it's thinking about, what really gets you excited for visibility. I love live video. Look at live video today. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong. If my children are here, sometimes they're wandering. They think I'm just talking to a computer, so they come and have a chat with me. It might freak you out. I know for Kelly, we were talking about this in her group, is that she absolutely loves Anchor. And I love Anchor too. But for Kelly, it totally works. She gets really, really high vibe from creating content via Anchor. So, you know, what feels high vibe for you? And how can you show up? How are you going to show up? This, you know, remember, this is training, but this is also about you taking forward your action. And it's understanding that you can have everything that you've outlined at the beginning part of the workbook. You can have all of that when you're taking action from this future person, this future version of you. You don't wait until you become that person to do this. You do that now. You do that today. You do that tomorrow. You be that future person. You be that future self. So what are those visibility actions that you are like, yep, I can do that. That feels really great. So you note that down. And I'm never going to say that you've got to be everywhere on Facebook. I'm at Facebook, on social media. I love Facebook. I do Facebook. I do Instagram stories. I do Anchor. That's kind of it. There's a whole lot of other stuff I could do, but I don't. Because these are the things that feel really easy for me to do. So that's what I do. So I want you to think about your message. What is your message? So if you don't want to be vanilla, if you do want to stand out from the crowd and be different and to call your soulmate clients into you, you know, those ones that you absolutely adore and love. I absolutely adore Kelly. So think about, you know, what's your message? How are you actually going to stand out from the crowd? So what is the message that you're going to stand out from? My message is very simply about screwing the rules and building an awesome business instead. And everything stems from that. So I can hook a whole load of things around that. And I'm on quite a big mission to kind of get people to be themselves in business and be aligned and take aligned action and be awesome and just be wide open to receiving everything that comes in. And to if you feel like dancing. If you feel like not turning up for work that particular day, don't do it. If you want to take some time out to exercise, go and do that as well. Whatever is your message. So, you know, what is your message? If you need a hand with that, let me know. And then in terms of like your aligned action, for me, and again, I shared this with Kelly in her group yesterday and that special training that I did for them. And the mindset is very much about like, God, you know, what do you need to believe about yourself to achieve this? And that's your mindset piece then. So if you think that, oh my gosh, I've got to really create the belief that I'm good enough, that I create value, that I'm worth being paid that amount of money. So what is the mindset piece that you need to be focusing on right now? And this will shift in time, but what is it that you need to really be focusing on right now in order for you to be this future version of yourself, having this business? And as I shared yesterday, mindset can really start to help you create epic results quite quickly. 4 days in my case. So as this kind of future version of yourself, what are you creating? So if we go back to that kind of business model where you've got level 1, level 2, and level 3, what are you creating? So what are you creating in terms of content? You know, perhaps you've got a desire to run a challenge like Kelly is right now, or to run a webinar. Maybe you've seen this webinar and you've thought, oh my God, I could do better than that. So maybe it's kind of like, you know, what is it that you're looking to create? You know, in terms of your content, in terms of your product, what is really firing you up? What is it that perhaps you've tried to launch before and it didn't work, but you're ready to start again, to try it again, to kind of refine your method, to be consistent until you actually achieve it. You know, what can't you quite let go of? Even when my business was in the, you know, kind of in the lower point, I could never give up on it. I was, you know, I believed in myself and I believed in my business. And yeah, I knew that I needed to keep going. So what are you creating in terms of your content? What really kind of fires you up? Would you be with me in the hotel room writing a blog post before you went out and partied? That would definitely be me. And then what are you selling and how are you selling it? I mean, I've already shared with you that, you know, this is part of the reason why I'm running the Freedom Program, you know, lots of reasons, but one of them is obviously to promote and launch the mastermind. But of all the places that I've got available, I've already sold 8, and they were sold way before I even started to launch this. And you can do that too. You can do that too. So what are you selling gracefully like that? That just happen, that people just say yes to you about? So write down, what are you selling? And you talk about the frequency that you want to sell. So, you know, maybe you want to sell every week, every month. Maybe you're going to have a monthly club where actually you only launch it 4 times a year. You get to choose. There's no right and there's no wrong. It's you just make it right for you. How liberating is that? How liberating is it to know that there's no right and there's no wrong? That we don't need to be following so-and-so strategy and this person's funnel idea and blah, blah, blah. It's like, for you, make it right. You know, remember back to my story where I was saying, you know, I invested with a high investment with a coach who had a really successful business, who has a really successful business. And because I was taking action from that coaching that wasn't in alignment with who I was, it didn't work. It would have worked. It worked for them. It might have worked for somebody else, but it didn't work for me because they weren't the actions that I should be taking. And I'm not talking about you being dead polished either. Oh my goodness me, you know, really kind of like, when we put people on pedestals and we like go, oh, look at these people, they've got like this amazing, like, let's take Marie Forleo. I love Marie Forleo. And she's so polished and she has so much fun and she's really funky and she has this whole team around her and they all have fun on the set and it's all cool. It's like, it can make you feel as if actually if you're going to create some content, it's got to be as good as that. And it doesn't. It does not need to be like that. You just need to turn up as you with something to say that your audience wants to hear. And then once you've nailed this, once you've nailed your visibility, once you've nailed your message and your mindset and what you're creating, what you're selling, honestly, it's about consistency. That is the key element here. It's about consistency. How can you consistently show up and do this? Because remember, our businesses are not like Amazon Prime. We can't just put one blog post out there and get a ton of sales from it. It's about being consistent. Kelly knows this. She's experienced this. She knows exactly the results you can get from being consistent as well. So be consistent. And that is the key thing. Aligned action, mindset, and being consistent. How many people do you follow who seem to fall off the earth when they haven't got a product to promote, and then they come back online and you kind of go, well, you've really annoyed me now, because just because you've got something to sell, you show up. And it works for some people, but for me, as a person who's following somebody, I really don't feel that. It's kind of like I'm not cool with that at all. Okay, so any final questions, any ahas, anything that's kind of come for you through this? And as I was saying this over in my live, in my Facebook group, Live Your Abundant Life, that actually one of the really cool things to do with this training is to keep listening to it, keep working through the workbook, because there'll be elements that you think you haven't heard previously or you didn't have the capacity to hear. So think, keep listening through the recording and getting those aha moments down. So any final questions? This recording is going to be available to you for the next 2 weeks, and then it'll be coming down because I'm nasty like that. No, I just know that whilst it's current for the next 2 weeks, you'll use it, you'll think about it, and you'll take things forward. And then after that, life will come in, and you'll go back to how it was. That's how it often happens. If you're not being supported or challenged in your business, you often get back into your groove, because that's the well-travelled surface, and that's where you stay. There is support in Live Your Abundant Life. So you're not currently a member of Live Your Abundant Life, come and be supported in there. Come and tell me what's going on. Tell me if you're getting into challenges. Tell me if you're getting some successes. I'm still here to support you for 2 weeks in there. Just post it up. If you are interested in finding out more about the Fearless Female Entrepreneur Mastermind, and if you want to get epic results like Kelly's already kind of receiving in the last couple of weeks, and if you want to be supported by me, I want to hear from you, and we just need to have a conversation. Just PM me, let's get in touch, and let's see if this is the right thing for you. And this is the end of the content. I've got through it a lot faster than I thought I would, so that's cool. We're all winning. So do it. Oh, thank you, Kelly. She's such a great ambassador, isn't she? Love her. So all I'm going to kind of wrap up by saying is, be your awesome self. You are already, wherever you are in business, you are already awesome enough to attract clients to you consistently. Be yourself wherever possible. Throw out the rule books. There aren't any rules. And just remember to screw the rules and grow an awesome business instead. Thank you so much for your time today. I really deeply appreciate you being here. Bye for now. Thank you, Kelly. Bye, Amy. Bye, everybody.